Hey y'all, it's Lindsay. It's now March and I need to do a monthly focus video. I also really need to update you on how February's focal points landed. Spoiler alert, it wasn't great. But if you are new here, I first want to welcome you. I am Lindsay. I do low carb, keto friendly content here in the form of what I eat in a day videos, recipes, and other health sort of chats regarding my specific quest for health and wellness. If you're interested in any of those things, I would love to have you consider subscribing and then sticking around for a while. For all of my returning viewers, thank you for being here. First things first, February, oh my stars. It was a bit of a flop. I had very big ambitions for February. I was excited about focusing on getting intentional movement every single day and playing piano for 20 minutes every single day. Those were my two main focal points. And I failed in my excitement for the new month to really take a look at our calendar and realize that we would be traveling mid-month. And usually when we travel, the days before a trip and the days prior to coming, or I'm sorry, the days after the trip once we've come back home are always really tricky. They're always focused on the trip itself, whether it's prepping for it ahead of time or de-prepping, resetting after coming home. So we were gone for 6 days, but it really took us closer to like 12 total days, 3 days on the front end, 3 days on the back end for organizing and sorting and preparing and then sort of resetting. I guess that's a word I've already used, but it's really the best word that I have in my vocabulary right now to explain that. So for about 12 days in the shortest month of the year, I was not focused on getting my two things I wanted to do done. So we did travel to warmer weather and I was able to do fun things like kiteboarding and snorkeling, but that was not something that we were able to do every single day. There were travel days, there were days ahead of time that I did nothing. There were days when we were there where we didn't do super intentional movement. It was just one of those things where it was really, really exciting to me to go and say, I'm going to do intentional movement every single day. But then the fallout is just so not ideal. I think I wound up doing intentional movement about 14 days out of the month. So 50% of the month. Some people might take that as a win. I definitely do not, and find that to be an area that I can improve upon. Not in a way that like beats me up or anything like that, but legitimate accountability. I did not do that great. Therefore, I'm going to continue on with my intentional movement objective, my intentional movement focus, and that I'm going to just go ahead and carry it on through to February. And I think you might be anticipating the fact that my piano playing didn't do so great either. I actually did better with my piano practicing than I thought I would, given the fact that my intentional movement was a flat out 50% fail. The days we were gone, I did not practice piano. However, I was able to get back into the swing of things a lot more quickly than I was with piano playing versus the intentional movement exercise piece. So I wound up doing about 20 days of intentional practice on piano. I didn't get my full 20 minutes every single day though. That was the piece that I did not get done. There were some days I was able to get like 35 minutes of practice time. There were other days where I just barely squeaked in 10 minutes and we were so just inundated with other tasks, other responsibilities, other activities, homeschooling, just the whole host of things that happen around our home. So I also will be keeping my same piano practice goal, focus, objective, however you want to call that, for this month as well. For the month of March, something else that I'm kind of sort of squeezing into my different focal points is that I'm trying to go back to a more simplistic time. When we started the low carb keto way of life, we did a lot of really simple meals, really simple snack items. I know a snack is more of an emotional event rather than a hunger event, but that is something that we do participate in. And so we do have snacks around here. I have a video coming out this week or this weekend where I show you a snack recipe, a treat recipe. And as much as I absolutely love these things, I'm not telling you what they are intentionally because, you know, suspense. I don't want to make it a habit of eating those every single day. So my monthly focus for March is to continue on with the 2 from February, but also add in being a lot more simplified in what we choose to eat, what we choose to do. My husband has a treat that he likes, which is Jared approved chocolate. We call it Jack around here. It's so simple. It's just cocoa powder and sweetener and coconut oil. And he said to me the other day, he's like, I really miss that stuff. And I was like, you know what, you're right. And then he repeated it to me again yesterday. And I'm like, you know what, you're right. I made some, but then I didn't stay on task with getting that replenished every single time that we ran out. So going back to the simple basic foods that we really enjoyed at the very beginning of our switch from the standard American way of life to the keto way of life, I really want to sort of reharness the excitement that we had for those things back then. I mean, that's been 7 years ago now. And I think at a certain point in an adventure in health, in your quest for health, you can become complacent. And I think that's something that we have been battling for probably the past 2 years. We get invigorated about, oh, we're doing the things, we're going back to the way it was, we're being very intentional, we're keeping things simple again. And then we kind of get a little bit complacent, get excited about the different ideas and just sort of run with them. Or wouldn't it be cool if I like to create things. I like to reverse engineer things. I like to go through and see if I can make something similar to something else that was a non-keto thing. I think that it's just a creative outlet for me, and I enjoy that very much. However, I can get a little bit caught up in that, and I can just sort of inundate us with a variety of, albeit keto friendly, they're still treats. They are still absolutely treats that we wind up treating as if they were commonplace. And I would really like to get back to a little bit of a simpler way of eating. My husband is on board. He and I have been doing this, like I said, since 2016, 7 years. It's been a long time. And he and I are on, we're right in that same place. We want to get re-energized and refocused on the things that were simple back then, and let that take the lead for the month of March at a minimum. It could, reinvigorate us to be as focused and as intentional and as disciplined as we were back whenever we first started this whole health and wellness quest. So that's what I got going on. I would love for you to comment down below. Let me know what you plan to focus on for this month. And if you commented on my February video about things that you planned to focus on for the month of February, I would love to have an update on those things too. So thank you so much for being here today. I will see you in my next video.